Let's find out. I've gotten a few questions or comments in the comment section lately that suggest that I am a hoarder and that it is somehow an unhealthy, thing, and that perhaps somebody who has this many cars and this much stuff probably has some kind of mental issues, and that you should get help and you should sell all this and give it away and crush it, and your life will be so much better and you'll be happier. And rather than just call bullshit, I thought, let's ask the ever helpful internet and see if in fact I am a hoarder. So we're going to wander around, and it looks like there's 15 questions here. We're going to score ourselves and see how much of a hoarder I am. Then I'll try and justify my life or something. Let's go. So this is one of those agree, disagree, pick the whatever, how strongly you feel about this question. Psychology Today. All credit to Psychology Today. Let's see. Question number 1. I feel emotional distress when I must discard items that I don't need. No, I do not. It looks like I keep everything, but really I get rid of a lot of stuff. Just that the stuff that you end up keeping, Tell you what, we'll change that to almost completely disagree. Number 2, I'm unable to resist acquiring things. I would disagree again. I'm going to disagree mostly with that. There's so many things that I don't buy, and every day I turn on the classifieds, and there's 10 cars that I want, and I usually don't buy any. Sometimes I buy one, sometimes I acquire things that might look like they have no purpose, and sometimes that's the case. But not usually. People say my living space is crowded with unnecessary items. What people bun? I will say that she has been a great help with that. And there was a time when the living space was crowded. So I'm going to neither agree nor disagree there, because it is currently actually quite uncrowded. See, number 4, my social life suffers because I tend to hoard. I'm going to strongly disagree with that, because my social life is actually quite awesome, and most of the people that hang out here don't have any problem with the collection of stuff. Number 5, I acquire items I do not need. Well, I'm going to slightly agree with that, because sometimes I'll buy things that I don't need, thinking that I might need them in the future. Let's see. Number 6, I have difficulty using all the rooms in my house because of all the accumulated items. Well, that is not true. But there was a time when it was true, but the test isn't called, did I used to be a hoarder? So I'm going to say no. Number 7, I have difficulty discarding ordinary things that other people would purge. Well, ordinary things? I don't know. What's ordinary? Ordinary things like cylinder heads and stuff? I suppose. I'm going to give myself a little bit of an agree on there. Whatever. See. Number 8. Hoarding affects my daily functioning. No. No, it doesn't. Unless hoarding is your daily functioning. I'm going to mostly disagree with that. Not going to completely disagree, because sometimes I will drop everything to go buy a car, and I may have had other things planned. So, but really, it's not like I wake up every day and can't stop myself. Number 9, I have difficulty walking through some of the rooms in the house. No, I do not. There was a time, but it's not called that I used to be a hoarder. Number 10, I have a strong desire to save things I might need in the future. Well, obviously, I 100% agree with that. If that's hoarding behavior, then count me in. Number 11, I have multiples of an item that I do not use. Well, I guess I gotta kind of agree with that one. 72 Furies, for instance. Number 12, as we stand in front of a Packard that has a trunk full of hubcaps. I have to move items to get into a room. No, very rarely. Number 13 is I avoid inviting people over because of my hoarding. No, never. I don't care. Everybody I invite over already knows the situation. Okay, number 14. I have a hard time controlling my urge to acquire things. Okay, maybe a little sometimes. Fair enough. As long as the things in question are French mopeds and American cars of the early post-war era. Bringing us to number 15, I avoid discarding possessions that I do not need. It is too stressful. I don't find it stressful. So maybe sometimes. I'm going to just put a neither here nor there on that one. Let's score the test. Hoarding test score. Look at that. I'm not even cheating you guys. 42 out of 100, in the middle. It doesn't say few hoarding tendencies, it just says in the middle. So if I had a score, of 42. If I'd had a score of 64, I would have many hoarding tendencies. And a score of 84, I would have excessive hoarding tendencies. So, I don't know, do you guys think that I scored myself fairly? Let me know. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I don't have a few things, or that I don't like things, and that I don't buy multiple copies of things that I'm not immediately using. That's absolutely true. So, with the clinical opinion out of the way, let's move on to the internet's opinion, which of course, as we all know, I take very seriously. Just for the sake of argument, let's say I have 70 cars in various states of repair, and that's probably more than most people. It's probably too many cars if you're not into cars, as I've said before. If you're not into cars at all, 70 seems like a lot. Let's have a little closer look and see if I can justify some of these. Firstly, I don't really feel compelled to have to justify anything because I'm not hurting anybody. If you can't think of a use for any of these items, then sure, I'm just a guy that hoards cars. But I mean, I'm not hoarding dirty diapers or old newspapers or whatever. Like, if you're watching this, you probably have at least a passing interest in cars. First off, none of the vehicles I have are visible from anywhere except in my yard already. So you'd already have to be in the yard to be offended by the sight of this many cars. Most people in this neighborhood don't even know that I have any cars because they're not visible from the road, they're not visible from the subdivision road, they're not visible from the back of my yard. You have to actually drive into the yard to even see any of them. So as for whether or not it's offending the neighborhood, it's obviously not, because I've lived here for 25 years and I've never had a single complaint. Honestly, to me, calling me a car hoarder is like calling somebody who collects paintings a painting hoarder. Like, it's not a hoard, it's a collection. Is baseball cards, are they hoarding baseball cards? Like, it's just some people collect certain stuff. Do you hoard watches and paintings, and do you hoard, first edition novels and stuff? Like, some people like to have things and they find it interesting. Secondly, I think hoarding means you buy everything indiscriminately, and I'm actually pretty particular, believe it or not, about what cars end up here. They tend to either A, be French, or B, it may at first seem random, but if anybody knows what they're looking at, you can see that they're all of a certain time period, and they all have a kind of a similar theme, and they all seem to go very well together. There's no K cars or Chevy Celebrities or early 70s Thunderbirds or any of that. It's not random. I mean, if I have to justify why I bought each car, I certainly can, if we're going to do that. These cars here, you probably noticed, are the lineup of independent cars. So this is all companies that went extinct during the 50s: Packard, Hudson, Studebaker, Kaiser, and Nash. So those are all together. So that's not just random hoarding. That's an installation in a part of a collection. And I've mentioned in the last several videos, a big part of restoring cars and putting old cars back on the road is that you need multiple copies of everything that you're going to attempt to build. So if I have a 261 Plymouth but only drive one, That's completely normal if you're going to try to put one together. If I have 3, that's fine. If I have 11 61 Plymouths and don't drive any of them, then you have a 61 Plymouth problem. And I may one day have a problem like that. Obviously, 58 Plymouths, nobody watching this channel expects me to justify having a 58 Plymouth two-door hardtop. Everybody knows that that's a desirable car. Here's a way less desirable car, but this car will probably donate its frame and chassis to a 58 Plymouth restoration. That's why this car is here. This car is here because somebody living close by needed to sell it that day, and so I bought it. Quite presentable for what I'm trying to put together here outside, which is kind of a, you know, an installation. What would they call that? Installation art. And a complete car, not scrap. This is a savable car, not in the same condition as some of the others, but a car that could be used to combine to make another car. This car, I bought several of these to, sorry, it's a Kaiser. I bought 3 of these to save them from the crusher and use for parts for the Fraser that I drive, so I don't have any trouble justifying those. This car, just sentimental. Bought it off of my neighbor 25 years ago. This car, saving from crusher, completely savable car, very nice original car. I'm not letting that go in the baler, so I gave the guy a couple $100. This car, project, and of course if you got the project, you can see up in the field we have the parts car. These are generally parts cars here. I do have drivable Citroens, so keeping parts cars is pretty logical when there's only minuscule numbers of these cars left in the world, so saving Citroen DS's is not really something I'm going to apologize for. I might apologize for that green Dodge in the back there. That could probably go. This Studebaker here is a terrific parts car for the two-door hardtop, which is an extremely rare car, so this car has a purpose. This Peugeot 403, parts for the other Peugeot 403, the aforementioned 72 Plymouth Furies. These two are parts for the Woody wagon over there. I need wagon parts, and here is, well, this was my daily driver for years, so it's just kind of retired here. 57 Dodge parts car, actually pretty solid car. The parts car for the 60 Fury is back there. There's a Robin there, which is nice, and then there's 2 57 Canadian Dodge, which is Plymouth 257 two-door hardtops. Those are getting hard to find, and there's no way that I will ever regret saving a pair of those. And again, because I have a YouTube channel dealing with old cars, it is technically my job to buy these cars and fix them up. So, you know, if a person has a yard full of pipe, but they have a pipe business, then they're not hoarding pipe, it's their business. Packard, yeah. I bought this one before I had the other Packard. I literally bought it because it was a Packard, because I wanted one for the collection. It's not a good car. We've discussed this before. It's not a restorable car. This car was bought to be, it was bought because it was a Packard. That's the only reason. If this was a Ford or a Plymouth in this condition, it would not be here. And another Kaiser. This is a 1948, I believe. Again, parts for the Fraser. Could I, if I had to, this could go, but again, it's not really ruining my life here. I don't have to move it out of the way to get into the kitchen or anything. 41 Plymouth, parts for the decent one that I keep inside. It's kind of too bad this was too far gone because it is a two-door, but I'm happy to give pre-war cars a home. Parts car for the 59 Buick. No need to justify that. This, I mean, yeah. This is a example of what happens when you buy things over the phone. Sometimes you get it's better than you hoped, and then there's times when you get this. Sadly, an absolutely beautiful car that I would love to have, and this fits into the category of hoarding things that you might need in the future. This is not a restorable car, but it is an amazingly complete parts car, and I'm very happy to have it. The Renault parts car. So this car, completely justifiable for the $300 or $400 I paid to save the beautiful black car that we took to the racetrack last year. I just love that thing. So 100% justified here. This engine, maybe, you could argue either way. Parts car that we used to restore the DS that went to Montreal. This car was the best 300 bucks I've ever spent in my life. You can see how stripped it is. We used so many pieces off of this car. 100% justified. The other car is gone and done, but I still have one or two more of these to do for myself. Citroen SMs, pair of them. If you're going to restore an SM, you need parts cars. So this car donated the European front end for my car. Just based on that alone, it was worth it. This one, I mean, there's not much there, but it's not like I didn't spend as much as a McDonald's cheeseburger on this car. It was literally free. Is it really beautifying the place? No, but you know, nobody's kids went hungry because I bought this. That car is complete other than the front end. I could probably even get it running, but it's rusty and it's an excellent parts car, and I'm happy to have it, and I'll probably use a ton more parts off it. And I think in my defense, we should also remember that, sure, I got a lot of cars here, but I also got a lot of plated cars that I finished, and a lot of the cars that I finished are because I have these cars. Like, I don't know too many people who have a dozen classic cars plated and they did them all themselves. This is not a junkyard. I don't hoard these for parts. I don't hoard them thinking that they're worth a bunch of money and that I'm gonna get rich and retire off of the, you know, rusty Peugeot 403 collection. None of that's true. I mean, suggesting that I sell my cars is like suggesting that a musician sell all their instruments because they have too many. Like, all I've ever done since I was 3 years old is play with cars. I think I've done quite well to only have 70 cars. If I had a bigger place, I'd probably have 200 cars or 1,000 cars. And at that point, it becomes a business because there's no way you're gonna do anything with 1,000 cars. You guys let me know what you think. Am I a hoarder, or am I just a person who has extremely bad taste in cars and owns quite a few of them? Anyhow, hope you guys had a laugh. Let me know how you do. Are you a hoarder? Because apparently I'm only like a moderate hoarder at best. All right, see everybody on Saturday. Got lots more of the regular contributor.
Same old shit.